Hey, how are you guys? So tonight I'm here with a special guest, and I'm going to bring him in now. We are here with Dan Talks Theatre. How are you, sir?
It do be me. Wow, I
Yeah,
am. I am good. I'm as good as you can be in a third lockdown.
I keep thinking it's second, but it's third, isn't it?
we had proper lockdown. We had babies lockdown, and now we're back in. Oh Jesus, our cases are so high. Lockdown.
Yeah. In terms of theatre, we opened up the doors again, and then now they're suddenly been snatched away from us again. Oh, hey, we've got people already. Hello there. Hello, Ivy the Wolf. How are you? We've got
Hello.
Shannon. We've got Shannon there as well. Hello, how are you? We're basically just going to be chatting some stuff today. But I thought rather than be an idiot, I thought I'd prepare some things. So I thought I'd whack up some questions, and people can also ask us questions in the live chat. So why not? Because I've been wanting to do this with you for a while. Because obviously we have similar themed channels but do very
Yeah.
different things with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I don't do this very often because I'm best left singing badly because I don't have a personality of my own.
I am best left not singing at all. So.
Perfect. So together we could make the perfect YouTube. Brilliant. So I thought, look, there you go. Beans, I love your channel so much. I thought I'd ask you, how do you pick the themes of your videos?
It's very much on a case by case basis, like there's sometimes where I will have a video idea and I will sit on it for like ages, and then when it feels right I'll finally do it. Stuff like Glee. I do Glee very regularly, so I just have like a massive list of like Glee ideas, and then when it feels like I've had enough time between a Glee video, I'll put one out.
You see,
But sometimes
Glee's one of them shows I watched the first season of, and then I sort of trailed off.
see I know Glee now. I haven't even like sat down properly and like watched Glee, but because I've seen so many clips from it, I feel like I know the show.
It's one of those things that I don't see. I don't see it as much. See, another show that was quite good was Smash. Have you ever seen Smash?
I haven't seen Smash. No, maybe
That's
that's an
really
idea.
that's a really good show. But again, it's one of those ones because I don't get a lot of time for TV. So we were talking about this the other day, and when we were trying to set this up, it was what was it we were talking about? Yeah, so it's time management.
Yeah,
See, we have very different ways of doing time because obviously we're in two very different stages in our lives. I'm older than you, obviously. I
yeah.
have family commitments and stuff, and kids to take care of and stuff like that. And you're a very different point in your life as well. So time management's really different for both of us. So like, I could never do a video like yours, where you're doing all these you're doing like edits and like really good edits and stuff. Whereas I'm just like, I just need to sing a song twice. If it goes well, it goes well. If not, I'm screwed. But you know.
Yeah.
But to have time to sit down and actually watch a show all the way through, like Glee, like Smash, those things, I don't have a lot of time to do that. So it's usually in the in between sections, and even then, I'll start watching it, and then there'll be a reason I have to get up and go, and then do something else, and I'll forget where I was, and I'll try and start it again. It's like when you read a book and you read the same page 50 times.
I'm seeing people in chat, so I just want to say hi to people. Hi,
Yeah,
the whole country, Malaysia. Hi, Yogi. Hi, Amit. Hi. If I pronounce your names wrong, I'm sorry.
I'm really bad
Glad
at that.
you're here, guys. Glad you're here.
Oh, it's really nice to have people actually paying attention and watching. I haven't done so when
I love.
when
Do you have the thing where you'll recognize people from your comments?
oh yeah,
And, like,
yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
have regular commenters, and I'm just like, it's them. They've commented again. They're like, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's really lovely. It's really lovely when you have people keep coming back and actually support you, because it's one of those things. Like I started this at the start of lockdown. I had a YouTube channel for years. I never really used it. I used it for things like posting clips of shows I'd done to give to agents and stuff like that, rather than it's like a makeshift show reel, really.
Yeah.
And then when lockdown started, my regular place I go and sing at now, they were doing lives for their Facebook page. And I thought, oh, I can do that, and I can also add it on YouTube. And then I came up with this stupid idea of, oh, I'm going to need to keep busy during lockdown. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a song every single day, which was originally meant to, be for a month, and has now gone on for over. Yeah, which has now gone well over
well
over the 300-day mark, and I'm carrying it on. But I started off as well. I've done some live chats, and I haven't done it for ages because, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not really comfortable doing that. I'm quite, as a performer, I find a lot of performers are like that. They're quite not introverted, but I'm not very comfortable being me.
I get that.
Yeah,
like me on my channel, I am a very exaggerated version of me. You know, even now, like, I am quite an energetic person, I would say that. And I do see myself as kind of like a little bit extroverted. But, you know, I can't be myself. Like, the hardest videos for me to record are update videos. Like, I can sit there, I can like goof and gaff all the day long, but I can't sit down and just be myself on camera. I have to put on like at least a little bit of exaggeration. You know, that's also just for making myself interesting on
they say
camera.
that as well. They say that how you usually are on the camera, you should be what, ×3?
Yeah.
Of that, you know, that's why you get all these like at the moment I have kids, so they're kids YouTubers. Oh my god, it's like, hi guys,
Oh, yeah.
it's like the chipmunks on ecstasy. It's insane, and but that's why they get so many views, and it's insane. But I'm not really used to doing that, but so I stopped doing it for a while. But now obviously we're in this third lockdown. I think, well, I should start doing it a bit more again. And obviously we have very similar themes, but very different methodologies of putting it across. And also I like the fact that we see things from different viewpoints as well. You're a theatre fan and I'm a theatre performer, so obviously going to a show, we see very, very different things.
I mean, I want to direct. That's what I want to do. Like,
which you need a good eye for.
Like, I love theatre, and like I have done acting, I've done musical theatre. Surprisingly, theatre is what? Subjective, but
absolutely, I'm loving the catchphrase. Mine is something like that.
You know, but yeah, I just love theatre, and I love being in control of theatre. So yeah, I really want to.
I'm the same. I like the whole directing thing as well, and I like writing. So I produce as well. Before this, obviously, I did a lot of gigs up and down the country. Well, what you don't know is when you do theatre, if you want to continue singing and not have a regular job, you have to do other things as well. So,
yeah.
like singing at weddings, singing for holiday camps, and all that. And you travel all around the country and stuff. And so I designed sort of little production shows for those things. So like a Rat Pack show, a Decade show, and I produce all those as well. So I do like all the medleys and the motion graphics and the logos and the poster designs and stuff for all those. And so I love having that control over those things because it lets you. I actually prefer sometimes being off stage, making something on stage.
Yeah.
And going, oh, that looks beautiful, or that really comes across well, and that the whole process is amazing.
Yeah,
so
I love the idea of just sitting down and working with people to get a production together. That is like the greatest thing. And yeah, it's really that's exactly what I'm saying. It's so nice to get like a project going, and that's the thing we're missing in lockdown. Like I've tried at the moment. Like I am doing a couple things and like trying to direct over Zoom, but it's so hard, and and like the people who are acting on Zoom, it's like a completely different ballpark. It's so
weird. It's a whole different way of doing things. But which leads me on to actually another thing. Actually, I want to ask you that. What is the aim for your channel? Because your videos are like really sort of vloggy based, but when you don't go out, you still manage to do like a full like 20-30 minute video sometimes on like theatre themed stuff. And I don't know how you manage to put out that sort of content, because I'm it's beyond me.
I have no life. Like I'm in gap year. I am in gap year, sitting here. I have nothing at the moment. So like I have the time to just sit down and do stuff. If I was still at like college, if I was still in school, I probably wouldn't be able to do 2 videos a week. I even struggle now to do 2 videos a week, especially when I had the Rona. But
we'll go to that. You had Corona, didn't you?
I had the Rona. Luckily, a very, very, very mild case of Rona, but still Rona nonetheless. So I powered through. Like, look at me. I still stuck to schedule. But
Yeah, I mean, again, a schedule is a massive thing. Like the editing that you do, I'm surprised you can get 2 videos out a week, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I struggle. I mean, I just sing 3-minute songs, 4-minute songs, and I again, we have very, very different schedules, whereas I have once a week to get as many songs done as I can in that one recording session of about 2 hours. And then I edit after that. So, you know, it's a weird thing, like scheduling and stuff. I'd love to be able to do the stuff that you're doing, but it's just finding the time at the moment. You know, it's so difficult. Actually, here we go. Look, look. There you go. I've tried acting both live on stage and on Zoom. Also directed a bit, and it's impossible to perform like that. It's you know, it's a weird situation. Like I'm so used to performing live on stage that doing this whole YouTube thing was a completely whole new ball game. Like, because you're used to having a live audience to feed off of, and then I don't like looking at myself back at all. I hate hearing myself back. And my whole point of this exercise was I wanted to do it as live as possible. So I give myself 2 takes. I add a little bit of reverb on, like you'd have on stage, and then that is pretty much it. So any bum notes, any mistakes, I kind of leave in after the second take and hope for the best. So it's this weird adjustment that everyone's going through. Here we go. Ranger 7 Studios. Hello, mate. How are you? So if any of you were on my channel earlier, I do a video. Obviously, my videos are every single day at 6 o'clock. Ranger 7 here. He was my duet today, and he's incredible. We done a song from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels together.
I'll take a look at that later.
Yeah, it's good fun, and he's awesome. We also done some stuff from the producers together as well. Check out his channel. He's really, really cool, and he knows his stuff about tech. Yeah, it's.
I love how we're doing these topics and we're not even answering the questions.
I know.
We'll get back to the question in a minute. Just after
we will. It's just people keep messaging. It's lovely.
Make sure you take care of yourself first. Yeah, I mean, mental health is such an important thing and something I don't think about it enough. Like it is a tough one. Like you've got to really take care of yourself, and if you need that break, you take that break, which is something I'm trying to talk myself into doing. And yes, I have a script for a Beetlejuice video I'm doing hopefully this week, so you've got that. I also have a Glee video coming out this week, hopefully, if all things go right. Knowing me, things go wrong, so
I have that same problem most of the time, to be perfectly fair. Things go wrong for me constantly. And also, like, mental health thing, the weird thing is about this for me, like, doing this every single day has been good for my mental health, if that makes any sense. It's why I do it.
As well.
It's that little bit of positivity.
It's the goal. It's something to do, especially because I have nothing. Like, I am just preparing for next year at the moment, just sitting here doing nothing. I can't travel. I can't see friends. So this is like my creative hub. This is what's replacing theatre for me at the moment. And it's great. Sometimes it's stressful. Sometimes it struggles. When the numbers go down, it's upsetting. When the video doesn't do too well, it's just all about keeping yourself in check and just making sure you're okay. But aim for the channel. We should probably answer the questions.
Yes. What's the aim for your channel?
See, the thing is, I'm happy like with the content I'm making at the moment. I love doing stuff, but the thing I really want to do, and the thing that I've set myself for this year, is I want to work with people. The thing is, like, when I've been doing this, I have kind of had this like mindset of it's just me. This is my channel. I'm doing this, but there's so many great people on YouTube, like you. Like loads of other people who are doing amazing things who I'd love to work with, even if it's just sitting down and chatting, with someone and, just doing a live chat. I want to do that. Like I've got, I'm going live on Wednesday and I'm playing a game on someone's like Twitch, a gaming channel. Like, this is stuff I wouldn't do on my channel, but it seems so fun. It seems so interesting. And I love the streamer and their energy and everything that they're doing. And it's like so exciting to me. And doing this, and I've got like a big collab video coming as soon as we can sit down and record it.
You told me about this. I'm looking forward to it.
I am so excited for. I'll keep hush hush, but
I will.
It's coming soon. Fingers crossed. And you know, I want to connect with people. I want to go on podcasts. I want to do interviews. Like, there's so many people in this industry. There's so many amazing people, and there's so many amazing people on music theatre YouTube and beyond. And I just want to work with people. I want to introduce myself to people. But the problem is, I am really bad at just stepping up and saying, "Hi, I'm here. Work with me." You know,
See,
especially if I'm like idolizing these people a little bit. You know.
See, I've learned one thing I learned over lockdown is I always tend to if anything ever goes wrong or if anything's struggling, I blame myself all the time. And so what I tend to do is I tend to like that used to really put me off doing new things. But one thing I learned doing this whole thing is amazing things can happen. So I mean, if you've seen my channel, the amount of people I've done collaborations with, some incredible people who I would have never ever done, even thought of like doing songs with or even got to know. And it's an amazing format to collaborate. I mean, just the fact that people are being inventive, like obviously I'll record my part or the other person will record their part and then they send it to me or I send it to them and we work with each other and it's a whole collaborative effort to get a song together and to get the harmonies in the right place. And it's so difficult, and you don't know until, you could do a collaboration. I've been very, very lucky and everyone I've worked with has been insanely talented, more talented than I deserve to have singing with me. And it's one of these weird things, like it's afforded me so many positive outcomes that I never expected at all. And when I went into this, like, I mean, you and me are very different. Like, so you do 2 videos a week, so people know this is your day and this is your day. Whereas I do,
not really. It changes. It changes.
Come on, consistency, the same day. So, but the thing is, I same day and same time. That's But the thing is,
it's midweek and weekend. That's what I set myself. Otherwise, my mental health would just go.
Yeah. I mean, I find so I struggle with views purely because I have the subscriber count now, but it's because I do something every single day. People aren't going to come and watch every single day. There are some that do, and oh my god, you are soldiers. I don't know how you managed to put up with me, but but it struggles in that respect because people will come in and I'll go, oh my god, my views have gone up significantly all of a sudden, but it'll be on a video I done like 12 months ago.
Yeah,
and you're like, hang on. Well, how'd they find that? But it's people backtracking and going back on things. So because I do every single day, that side of things suffers for me. But I don't do it for the views. I do it to challenge myself, and that's the thing. Like, but like you say, you'll work really hard. You'll get a new subscriber, and then suddenly that'll go away, and you'll go, "Why am I down three people?" But it's
somebody said, "Would either of you consider streaming on Twitch?" I am working on it. I am working on streaming on Twitch. Just
I'm 35 in March, and I don't understand what Twitch is. I mean, I kind of do. I get it, but it's one of those things I have to really look into. And to be perfectly fair, because I do a video every single day on YouTube, that kind of takes up most of my free time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, definitely my free time's taken up by this as well. But you know, I am working on it. I just need a better laptop and to sort out internet because my internet is atrocious. I bet even now I'm like twitching and
you are quite fuzzy. It's quite good. It's like was it Crime Stoppers, the interview with the person, you're kind of blurred out somewhat.
It's annoying because I'm like such an energetic person. I move so much that like this is probably like
I like it. I actually do have a question for you because I mean, we have a lot of people who obviously come to our channel for theatre related subjects. This is the one I've been wanting to ask you because I can relate to this from being in shows and making mistakes. So I'm sure you've been and you've seen a mistake happen.
Yes. So I saw Billy Elliot back I think it was in like its second to last year.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of Act 1, they switched out the Billy. They needed to switch out the Billy. Billy went sick. It's all fine. But they had clearly forgotten to switch the weights for the new Billy.
Oh no!
So during the Dream Ballet, where Billy is in like a harness and he gets thrown up, this Billy went all the way to the top of like the proscenium arch. He flew. and he was just hanging there as the curtains closed, and I had to switch out the Billy. Yeah, I think this is a story I have said in a video sometimes. Somebody said the weight story. It is a beautiful story, but it got back very quickly. I do admire their commitment, that same team.
So the thing is, it's one of these weird things. Like from a performance standpoint, like I look at things like, so I'll go into a theatre show and I'll go, right, first thing I look at is like the aesthetics and the sort of the ambience of the theatre and how they've sort of achieved certain things, and then I look at the performances. But I think I'm a lot more sympathetic because obviously I've been there and I've done that, so I kind of go, oh, whereas you go to like some groups and they're like, well, he was really bad in this show and he can never get it right on this one bit, and you're like, you have to understand, like 8 shows a week, like vocally is a task. And even when you do have like understudies and stuff, sometimes those understudies can't go on, you have like a third understudy, and sometimes if that happens, you just have to make do of a bad situation and go on anyway. I toured for 5 years as Frankie Valli, and I've done at least 10 shows with a full-on flu. And when you need a head voice and you're bunged up with just everything, you just have to get through it. And you go, but you just know there's going to be people who go, oh, they think I'm terrible. And it does happen.
I do have something to add to this. So I have a series on my channel called like Who's the Best?
Yes.
Where I'll analyze a performer, and like sometimes people don't watch it and people hate it and go like, oh, why are you comparing them? They don't need to be compared. But the thing is, one, it's called Who's the Best because people on YouTube like that. But two,
clickbait.
Yeah, it's clickbait. But I do give my favorites, so but and theatre is what? Subjective. So if you have a different opinion, then yeah. But the thing is, when I do one of these videos, I spend so long on it. I will like I do these ones like weeks in advance, little bit by little bit, because I need to know everything. I need to know when this was recorded, the performance that I'm watching, because it's a bootleg, it's not very good quality. And it might be the end of the week. It might be a Saturday evening. They've done 8 shows in 1 week. They haven't had a break. They might be sick. They might be, a little bit rough. They might have, missed the train and haven't had time to warm up properly. And there's so many factors. And like when you're doing these type of videos where you're analyzing, you need to be so fair on them. It's like the two big ones I've done are Veronica and Lydia. And the Veronica is a really good one to look at this because Barrett Wilbert Reed, when she did that show,
we should just say that's Heather's, isn't it?
Yes, Heather's.
Yeah. Some people in the chat might not know.
Yeah. That show really damaged her vocals because the notes were like really high, and doing that 8 times a week really hurt her voice. So that's something I had to know. That's something I had to remember when I'm analyzing her performance. Same in Heather's for Carrie Hope Fletcher. She had tonsillitis. She, was having to go on when she was really sick and couldn't sing properly. And, that did affect her vocals slightly, but Carrie Hope Fletcher, being the absolute star that she is, powered through it. And like you have to take these things into account. You have to like admire them and admire like the show that will go on, idea and aesthetic, as long as they're being careful and not completely damaging their vocals. But yeah, I think theatre is different every night. Theatre is so reliant on these people.
I worked at the Novello for a good couple of years as an usher, and the best thing about that is you literally see every single show of the entire run of a musical. And I got to see every single show of the Drowsy Chaperone, every single one. Got obviously the main guy on Broadway was incredible, and he came over and he performed his part, which he did on Broadway, which you're used to seeing. When he ended up going obviously back to the States, they had Steve Pemberton from League of Gentlemen and stuff like that, and he took over the part. Now the original Broadway guy is obviously very tall, very skinny, very 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 flamboyant, and everything he says is kind of inward, and I have a great show, and it's a very inward. Steve Pemberton he's quite short. He's not much taller than
Yeah.
me. You know, he's a rounder build, and he played the part really, really differently.
Yeah.
And some of the other ushers were like, oh, he's really bad at this. I was like, no, actually, he's really, really good. He's taken the part. He's done something completely different with it. It might not be to your taste, but I'd much prefer that, because it's going to keep people coming back. Because then if the show had lasted even longer there, there was this weird thing at the Novello where, for some reason, there's always one theatre in London where shows are just not staying there, and they get show after show after show. And it just happened to be the Novello at that time. And what made me laugh was he played it so differently, and I thought, do you know what? It's jarring at first because you're used to seeing it a certain way, but then you settle into it, but you get all these people going, "Oh, it was the reason the show closed. You know, it wasn't very good." I'm like, that's not the reason the show closed. The reason the show closed is because people who bring Broadway shows to England don't know how to advertise to an English audience.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really weird thing.
Well, Waitress, amazing show. Their marketing was a little bit weird for a while. So them to sort out their marketing. But yeah, that's the exact thing. That is it. That's why I do those videos, because there's so many different ways to play it, and like there is no best way to play a role. There is your favorites, but you know, there's so many different little things that you can pull out, and just so much that you can appreciate. And I feel like when you do look at these in detail, you can find so much, and you can see all the different ways to play the role that maybe you didn't think of. And also, I'll put it on the list. I will put King George on the list. I have a massive list now. Just I'll do these guys eventually.
See, this is weird sensibility in so how you advertise on Broadway and how you advertise in for a West End audience is very, very different. Broadway has its own culture.
Yes.
Where word of mouth is sometimes enough to bring a show from off-Broadway to a massive Broadway theatre and then get the notoriety. You have a lot of celebrities that will then go to shows and then obviously put them onto their TV shows and then get it rolling and rolling and rolling. England's not like that. England is you need to have bus banners, you need to have people flyering constantly to people.
We rely on tourism.
Yeah, so you have to have people out there flying constantly, and there was so many shows like Drazzy Chaperone, which is one of them, it deserved a bigger run. For starters, it's a one-act show, so you go there, it's an hour and a half, and you're done. And so you can go see that show once, and there's no interval. It's just one and done. That's perfect for an English audience, because you go and you're like, you know, it's go for a meal, go for a show, go home. That's English sensibility. America's more like, we'll make a night of it. We'll go see a show, and then we'll go out for a lunch, and then during the break we'll go and get some more drinks, and then we'll go see the show, and after the show, it's a whole culture. It's very different here. English people are like, I've come, entertain me, I'm leaving, I'm having lunch, I'm going home. That is it. And we're very
there's shows that do manage to do that. Something like My Favourite Musical, Come From Away. That is a show that could have flopped here. That is a show that could have died. But they did their marketing. They pitched it. I see flyers and posters for Come From Away everywhere. Word of mouth helps a little bit. Olivier's helps a little bit. But most of all, they get the word out there. Come From Away is slowly becoming a staple of the West End. I hope.
I really hope. There's also the weird thing as well of how they change shows. Like, I find this really, really fascinating. So Hamilton comes here.
Yeah.
And we obviously do American accents because it's set in America and all that.
Yeah.
We send 6 to Broadway and they don't do English accents.
There is the stereotype that Americans can't do English accents. So I think the reason behind that, it took me a while to get used to the 6 accents. Like, at first, I was very much, I don't like it. This is an English show. You know, we don't get many goes to Broadway. They should do English accents. But now I've kind of looked at it and looked at the reason behind it. And I've gone, yeah, I can kind of see what they're going for. It's more about the voices of the actresses and the voices of the people. Someone said, true, we can't do accents.
I got that. Yeah.
Somebody's also said, why don't you do a duet together? I haven't heard Dan's voice, but it must be good. It's not.
Well, So my problem is, so accent wise, I checked my my YouTube on YouTube. If you don't know, you can see sort of where your audiences are coming from, and I'm literally straight down the middle, USA and England. And the amount of people from the US that don't know I'm English because they've only seen my voice, my American voices, and then they go, oh, I hung around. Obviously, when the song finishes, I click off, but then I hung around for your end video, and you're speaking in a British accent. Well, I get, oh, you did a really good British accent in that. I'm like, it's because I'm English.
I don't get that luxury.
I done the other day. I do a bit of Disney as well. So I done Jolly Holiday with Mary.
Yeah.
And someone put oh, really, really good American accent, better than what Dick Van Dyke done. I was like, well, yeah, he's not English. it's a really weird thing because people don't expect it. So it's an odd thing because obviously I don't do speaky videos that often, and then when I do, people are like, oh, okay. It's a really strange thing. I really like accents and I like characters, and that I think character, like how you carry yourself, the accent, the sort of tone of the voice, all lends itself to making a character. And when you don't have costumes and stuff like that, when you're doing a song, you kind of have to rely on that. It's a very odd thing doing a video where you have to put an accent on in order to get the character across. You know, I Mickey, I've done a couple of jokes with Mickey, and obviously he dresses up, and I'm like, I have to up my game. I have to dress up, and I don't have a costume cupboard. I'm a 34-year-old man with kids and stuff, so I don't have room for that, you know. So I kind of had to improvise. But yeah, it's a really weird sensibility, and I find like my favorite video of yours is where you made the 6 costume out of bin bags. It's the best thing ever.
I want to do every Queen for that. I do want to eventually do every Queen. So if people want to see that, Rami Malek, Ben Hardy, Jonas. Yeah, I'm sure some American people can do English accents, but I think we'll always look at it. Even if they're good, we'd just be like.
But no, but the thing is, like, English people aren't great accents. I mean, we're not. I mean, what people tend to forget is there are regional accents.
Yeah.
So an American doing an English accent will sound kind of like mine and yours, which is, you know, standard British accent. But where I'm from, it's all like that. They talk a bit like that round here. You know, they're all a bit farmerish. And I went down the beach the other day, and it was all a bit mental, weren't it?
You go up north, and it's like that, and it's like, oh, you don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm really bad at accents.
You know, I done a song from Oklahoma, and I had to do like more of a southern drawl type thing, and I'm doing it really badly now.
Like a southern accent. That's like,
yeah, more like that, you know, and it's harder
to kind of do that. I can kind of get there, but it's not great.
You see, that's the thing. Like, and it's this weird thing. You really have to work on certain things. So, like, there's certain things I can really just fall into, and I don't even really have to think about it. We used to play a game when I was at university, which was to get really good at an accent, we'd have to have that accent for the whole day, no matter where you were, no matter what you were doing. So you'd go around, no. So the challenge would be you'd go around all day like this, and you basically talk like this for the whole day. This is where you're from. I'm from Perth, you know. It's all fine.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, to really test yourself, you go to an Australian bar and carry it on. And if you didn't get punched, you were doing a good job. And it was, you know, and it was the same thing. You know, I did that with a lot of accents. So you just go around with that accent for the entire day, and then you really end up, because the best thing about acting is you have a script, so you can work around that, and you can work on your dictation, you can work on your dialect and stuff. But if something goes wrong and someone goes off script and you have to carry that on, you know, the key to being a really good actor is, okay, I have to say things now off the cuff in the accent. How do I say them? How's it going to come across well? And you have to be within that character. And that's the trick. That's what acting actually is. You know, if you can work off script, I think improvisational stuff is some of the hardest in the world. And if you can do that, then, you know, you're halfway there to being a decent actor. I'm going to go to here because this is going to make a
quick pitch. Do you have any questions for us? Anything you want to ask us? Can be anything. Put it in the chat. We'll answer it.
Absolutely. Why am I wearing a hat again? I never wear a hat anymore because
why am I wearing a hat? It's because
check this out.
We're gonna do hair reveal. It's molded.
It's my hang on. I'm going for the Spring Awakening look.
Oh yeah, Moritz Stiefel.
It's all right. Give me a gun later. It's all good. No. Where is it? This is what I want to know about you. What's your editing process?
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's
okay.
something.
For example, if I'm doing like a vloggy type thing, taking people with me when I'm doing a live gig, I literally film in sequence. So I'll film, and then what I do is I take everything into the editor in order, clip, paste, and that is literally it, because I don't have the time to faff around.
Okay, let's talk about this. There is a few different types of videos on my channel. There is a few. There is the easy edit. These are the 7-minute, 6-minute review type things. They are Q&As. They're things like that. If I have a big edit coming up, I will schedule one of those as the other one. Probably take about 20 minutes to record. Probably take about 3 hours to edit properly, because I am very slow at editing. I'm working on a very bad laptop, as you can probably tell from the fact that my thing is just here, there, and everywhere. Like I'm not in great quality at the second, but they're the easy ones. Then you have something like Six Trash Costume, or the Theatre Cafe one I did ages ago. These are big projects with loads of files. They take me days. Who's the best? On average, can take me about 3 days, maybe, getting all the files together. You know, it's still leaving time to do other things. The things that are the worst to edit are the Glee recreations. They are the videos where I'm having to make everything. So how my Glee reactions used to be. This upcoming collab that I keep hinting at, that's one of those type videos. It's going to take me ages to edit. These can take up to a week. Because I'm working on such like bad software. Like I pay so much for my editing software. That is where all my money goes at the moment. And yet my laptop just isn't up to cuff for it. I need a new laptop. I am looking for one. But yeah, it really does range, and I can go quicker depending on how I feel. During COVID, editing was so hard, you know. I'm just like, takes me time.
See, I'm obviously, I've done a whole video on how I do things, because obviously the one question I get asked is, how do I produce a song every single day? And the answer is I have to be super organized. And so I just have booklets and lists of songs, and then people request songs, so I add those to the list. And then obviously I have collabs. I've got loads of collabs. So I had a collab today, I've got a collab tomorrow, a collab the day after that, and a collab the day after that, because these things take time to get out. And
yeah.
And so I then have to learn those songs. Like I'm doing a great collab from Waitress. I'm doing what am I doing? Oh, that's really bad, isn't it?
Love You Like Sable?
No, bad idea. Bad idea. I'm doing it with an amazing singer from America, and she's incredible. And she sent me her thing. I'm like, I need to up my game. She's really, really good. Like she's awesome. So I'm and there's like riffs in it, like it goes proper up there, and then you have to come back down. And but then at the same time you're doing the harmonies for the start of the song are lower, and it's in a southern accent, so it's more like a Nashville style. You know, this was a bad idea. You know, sort of. Yeah. So I'm now working on the accent, the rhythm of the song, the harmony of the song, and then just
if you're doing Poe, he isn't southern.
This is true. This is where I come to the other thing I do, which is I like to know what sounds best in my voice and how I would do the character. So, like for example, when I do the Beetlejuice voice, I try and get a bit of how they originally foresaw it on stage with Alex Brightman, but then I also try and put a little bit of how I would do it as well. I'm a different build. I'm a different kind of actor.
Michael Keaton in there? That's my question.
You are?
Do you put any Michael Keaton in there, the original one, the film?
I do a little bit. See, this is the difference. See, Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice, you have to kind of go, well, you know, he talks like down there. He's down there. He's down there, you know. Things are down there, and he just talks in the back of his phone like that. But Alex Brightman, he has a more
he's really
higher and a gruffness to it. So you kind of mix the two together. And I like where I sit with it now, and I can sing it comfortably without it hurting my voice, which is an achievement of itself. and I really enjoy that character for that reason. But I do get people go, oh, it's quite close to Alex Brightman. Why don't you do the full Alex Brightman? Because that's not the point of how you do a song.
Because no,
If
that's
I
not
if
how
I
you,
if I
you
if
do
you
your
bought
own thing.
exactly, and it's
That's what
really
makes
difficult.
acting amazing. That's what makes theatre amazing, because you can have so many different variations of the same role, and they're all so great.
Also, it's a case of as well when I'm doing these covers. You got to remember, I'm in a recording studio for this room for 2 hours straight, singing constantly, and I will go from I don't know a song from Waitress where it's slightly more. I done Never Getting Rid of Me. I will never let you. Yeah, and then I'll go and say a Beetlejuice song, and then I'll go into just a more sort of Michael Ball classic sort of style, and I'm constantly adapting my voice for these different songs constantly. So I have to make certain. Um, I have to. It's not how I would ordinarily process and do a song if I was doing a live show. So you usually get sent a script and you get sent sort of the idea of what they want, and you'd work on the voice at home and you'd work on what you want to do, and you really hone it. So when you go in for that first read through and that first rehearsal, you have a kind of idea what the character is. You don't have that luxury when you're trying to do a song every single day.
Yeah.
So you just kind of go, this will have to do. It's not what I would usually do. It's not perfect. There are some bum notes. There are some things that just don't, gel. And actually, Emily Claire, hello, darling. She's just put a great job with God. Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you, Emily.
Me and Emily are doing a song for my cover tomorrow, which is from Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, exciting.
We're doing Damn It, Janet.
Oh, we should probably answer the question that was on screen. We had that on screen for so long and didn't answer it. When did you two first get into theatre? So, as a kid, I didn't do much. I still don't do much, but I literally did less. My life was TV, and if I did anything else, that would be impressive. I'm this little shy kid. I don't really do much. I'm just sitting there, and my mum's like, we should probably get Daniel to, do something. So I tried karate. I
I did judo.
I tried, like, Cub Scouts, the Scouts.
I
Yeah,
done the
that one.
Scouts. I done the Scouts. I got
The
kicked out.
British version of that is called like Cubs. So I did like
Cubs. I done
Cubs,
Cubs
Scouts, all of that. Didn't like it. Didn't show
with the
any
grey
interest.
with the
Then my
grey
brother,
sort of tracksuit.
my half brother, he went to secondary school and he started to get into acting. So, my mum was like, maybe Daniel will like that. And maybe Daniel liked that indeed. Because now I'm here. Yeah, so I went to like a small acting group. I went to another one that did more musical theatre stuff. I did vocal lessons, which props to my vocal coach teacher who got me from nothing to that is passable if you have to sing, but if you don't have to, don't.
There's ways of acting around certain things like that.
But then in about 2016, I listened to Heathers. I listened to all of these, and I started to get more and more into it. About 2018, I started to go see shows by myself. I would literally, I want a sponsorship. When theatre comes back, I want a sponsorship from Today Tix, because I basically advertise them anyway. Like, everywhere I go, I will talk about Today Tix because they are great. I used to sit in class at about 10 o'clock. I would literally have my phone under the desk. I'd be tapping to get rush tickets so I could sit front row for £25. And I'd go every Friday, nearly every Friday, go to London, spend all my money on that. And then, of course, lockdown, here I am. That's how I got into theatre. That is the history of Daniel in theatre.
I'm slightly different. I had extreme stage fright, like bad. I hated getting up in front of anyone. I still do, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't like being me, hence the whole acting thing. I started as a straight actor, and because it meant being a just another character and playing in that area.
Sorry, my brother's in chat. My brother mentioned he's in chat. He wants me to plug his channel, so it's not that one. Go if you like politics, if you like history. My brother does really good videos on that. Why Though Joe? That's his channel. But anyway, back to you, Aaron. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then so what I done was I done acting, and then I kind of fell into doing singing. I never had any singing lessons ever, up until maybe 12 years ago, and I had 3.
Yeah.
I went for 3 because I wanted to get my exam, so I could teach, and still done nothing with that. But I passed it after 3 lessons with a distinction. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's fine. But I don't consider myself a great singer. I don't consider myself like, the greatest performer in the world. But I do it because I just love it. And this is the one thing I've learned is I don't really listen to anyone anymore. If they don't like something, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, Amit has to go.
Oh, bye, Amit.
Bye, Amit.
Bye.
But yeah, so I just sort of fell into it. And yeah, I always sort of sang as a kid, like just sing, but never really sang in front of anyone. It was one of those situations where I'd sing to myself, and then my mum and dad would go, "Look, he's singing." I'll go, "Have they gone yet?" And and that's one of those things. And I've never really thought, anything more of it. And I kind of been very, very, very lucky to have been able to just make it a full-time job over the past 18 years. It's been a really strange sort of falling into it, really. But I've always had it as a hobby as well. So like I say, like if I get some free time to myself, I come into my office, I read a book on theatre, or I look at live shows, or I sing a few songs, and my family go, "Well, don't you want to do something that's not your job?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but it was my hobby. It's my hobby still as well." So I don't really ever stop.
Yeah.
So it's a weird thing. It's why YouTube, like I'd love, like I really want the best for your channel, man. I want it to like grow and grow and grow because you deserve it. There's some channels out there with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they don't put out half the effort into the videos that you do, and it's insane. And I think you deserve it.
Subscribe to Dan Talks Theatre.
what he said. But yeah, but for me, I'd love the channel to grow purely because then I can put more time into it and more effort into the things I'm doing. I don't want to do a song every single day forever. What I want to do is eventually, when I get enough sort of subscribers and support, I want to be able to do, say, like something I said to you, cinematic recreations of musical theatre songs. So I've already planned out the entire opening of Beetlejuice. So we've got the we've even got the recordings done as well, and I've planned out locations and shots, and it's just a case of getting it done now. But it's one of those things. Once you've got the support and you can really put that time into it, that's what I'd want to do with it, and that's why I think it's this weird thing. Like doing all these songs have made me have to when you do gigs for so long, you kind of lose touch of what's new in theatre, and this has caught me right. This has caught me right up. Like I used to be a walking encyclopedia of musicals. Ask anyone I went to university with if they needed to know anything. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well that show was brought out in this year. It was originally by this cast." Yeah, exactly. But that's information I retain without trying.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maths I am crap at. I can't do maths to save my life. But like,
I passed maths with science and with the skin of my teeth. It was.
Yeah, I mean, science I quite like. I quite like science, but yeah, any advance on rewriting lyrics to songs? It's just I'm doing it for. It's a musical. Ivy the Wolf has got going on.
All right.
I mean, it depends on what the story is and how you want to portray a character. I mean, and who you look at. I mean, you can go the Alan Menken route and Howard Ashman route, and the lyrics are more about the words being used. I mean, he uses in Aladdin genuflect, which is just get down on one knee, and he's using that in a kids show, in a kids film. Whereas you can go for Sondheim, who writes for character. Whether it rhymes or not doesn't really matter. If as long as it's emotionally there, it matters that way. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve with it, really.
I mean, my best advice is to get constructive criticism. The best thing in the world is constructive criticism. If you are writing something, if you are doing something, get someone you care about, someone who knows their stuff, and just show it to them. Maybe tough. There may be stuff that they don't like that you like, but getting a wide variety of people's opinions on something is always a good thing. You can take the advice on board, or you can leave it behind. But people know what they like.
But
People are great for constructive criticism.
But what is theatre, Dan? It's
But theatre is what?
subjective.
Subjective.
Exactly, and that's the thing. So, I mean, again, what this has taught me is to put yourself out there. Not everyone's going to like what you do. I don't expect everyone to like what I do on the channel. I don't expect everyone to like what I sing. I know not every single song I sing is going to be perfect and great and suit my voice. But when I'm doing one every single day, I'm just going to try everything and anything and do everything to the best of my ability and hope for the best. And then some of those going to hit.
That is the great thing about your channel. Let me praise you for a minute. You praise me. Let me praise you. I think the great thing about your channel is that I can sit there and I can look at the video that you're putting out today and I can be like, oh, that's not really a musical I like. I'm not going to listen to that. Next day, you can be in a completely different time period. You can be in a completely different era of musical theatre. And then that might catch my attention. That's the great thing about what you do. The great thing about like your mission and your one song every day is that there's so much variety there and there's so much to look to and just enjoy. And you know, you say you don't have much personality, but you are, you know, you're very charismatic.
Well, I think the whole point of me doing it in the first place was people auditioning. Like when you're on audition panels and you're auditioning people, everyone sings the same song. If Heathers is popular, guaranteed they're all going to sing bloody Freeze Your Brain or something like that. And you're like, can we just hear one song that's not that? Because I've heard 15 people sing that today. And you know, of those 15, probably one will do it in a unique way. So the whole point is, you know, a lot of male musical theatre singers could come to my channel, even if they don't like my voice, they could literally look through all the videos and go, I never even thought of that show. Oh, that show, I've never even heard of that show. This show, oh, what's that song? I never heard of that. And then they can go and listen to the actual recording and maybe find an album that they've never heard before, an audition song that might be perfect for them, or, you know, it's just a way of like, it's like a back catalogue of shows that have inspired me and how I've had something to do with in the past. And it's because I'm older, like a lot of the younger people probably won't know like Titanic the musical. Like
it's like you put one out the other day and I was like, I have never heard that. That is the first in a while that someone's like put out a musical there, and I haven't even heard the name.
What was that?
It was something like Roar of the Grease Paint.
Oh, like Roar of the Grease Paint, Son of the Bride. Yeah. Well, that's what feeling good comes from. And again, you get people go, oh, I never knew that was from a musical. Well, yeah, a lot of those old songs that Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald sang, they were from a musical. Mac the Knife is from what's it? Oh God, now I want to say it. It's not going to come to my head, but it's from is it a Brecht play or Pinner play? It's from, I think it's Brecht, I think, and it's Mac the Knife is actually a character in that, and he kills people. And originally, it's like this slow ballad sung by a woman. And then Sinatra takes it and he does this whole new thing with it, and that's how it becomes popular. And Bobby Darin, and that's how they all are.
Andrew Webber used to do that a lot as well, didn't he? He had what was it? Was it What was there was one from Whistle Down the Wind that went massively popular.
Yeah.
It was.
I think it was Whistle Down the Wind.
I think there was another one as well. I think there was another one. Someone like Boyzone did it. I don't know. Might be Whistle Down the Wind.
No matter what.
No matter what, that's it. Yeah.
I covered that.
You can get these musical theatre songs and they go massively popular. Another, like a really modern example, is something like The Greatest Showman. I can't say I'm a massive fan of it, but I have to admit it's gone massive. This Is Me, A Million Dreams, all of those kind of songs are like played on the radio, and that's like, you know, that can give new life to musical theatre.
I can't remember who said it, but there was someone who said the other day, Broadway numbers used to be turned into hit singles, and Lloyd Webber done it with a lot. He done it with Woman in White. Who was it from Blue? Someone from Blue sang it with someone else, and he always releases a single from each show. And if that's how people know them. That's an amazing way of advertising your show. If it gets to number one of the charts, like, you know, but that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, but to be fair, if you think about it, what was the thing you said from this? People look at it and go, "Oh, I didn't realize that was from a musical." So, is it really that strong of a marketing ploy?
Makes a quid or two.
Makes a quid or two, yeah, I guess. Keeps the mic to the show.
Thank you very much. There goes from the Threepenny Opera.
There you go. Yeah. We got any more questions in the chat? Got any more questions in the chat?
we need to round things off now anyway, I think.
Oh, fair enough.
I
Yeah.
know, but
Doesn't feel like an hour.
no, it doesn't at all. But boom, let's do that.
If I can get everyone in this chat to go and listen to a musical, it is the musical Mythic. Overrated. Mythic's later. Overrated musicals that you like that aren't well known. That is a really way. Are there any overrated musicals that you like that aren't well known?
So that's me. Bad. Underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Any underrated? Mythic the musical. Really funnily came out at like the same time as like Hades Town was in the National.
Yeah.
And it's this like pop musical about Persephone, but she is betrayed, and all the gods are betrayed as like rowdy teens, like all rebelling against their parents. So it's the story of Persephone falling in love with Hades and going down into the underworld and, you know, building her new life there while her mum's just going mad trying to find her. But the little twists they do on it, like the teen angst and all of it, is so good. And honestly, a great audition song for women is My Own Place in the Pantheon. That is an amazing song. Probably, I would say, one of my favorite musical theatre songs of all time. Like, I love Mythic so much, and I'm so sad I missed it when it was like off West End. It was like Charing Cross Theatre, right by. Somebody knows it. Yeah, somebody knows it. But yeah, it was right by like the Strand, all on the Adelphi and all that. It was great show. Great show. Do yourselves a favor and listen to it.
I might have to go and do that. Hang on 1 second. Yes. Oh, sorry, 1 second.
We have a cameo.
Sorry, Daddy.
No, you're all right. There you go, Dad.
No, my actual ones. Not very.
While this is happening, let me just say that if you aren't already subscribed to either Aaron Sings Broadway or Dan Talks Theatre, you should go and do that. We have great content for you every single week, and also I like it when the number goes up. So if you want to do us a favor, go subscribe to Dan Talks Theatre, www.youtube.com/Dan Talks Theatre, and Aaron Sings Broadway. You're watching the live chat right now. The button's like below. It's not a hard one to find. There you go.
Sorry, we're obviously we're homeschooling at the moment.
Advertising.
Oh, thank you. No, we're obviously homeschooling at the moment, and it's now 8 o'clock. So of course she wants her workbooks to do some schoolwork now. Yeah, no. Do you know what I was going to say? Underrated musicals, and you know what I'm going to say. I think you know what I'm going to say. Bat Boy.
I haven't listened to that yet.
You sacrilege. So I'll tell you why I love this show so much. The songs are really well written. The advertising was genius because it's based on a true story that wasn't true.
Yeah.
It's based on
brilliant.
It's a tabloid. It's a tabloid article in one of those tabloid American newspapers about a young boy found in a cave with bat-like properties, and the Bat Boy was found. And they went with it, and they just wrote this whole musical around it. But it goes. So you're sitting there, you watch the show. Simple premise. I think it's really good. It's about acceptance. He wants to be accepted into society. He's taken in by this family, and that would be enough. Except it goes to a whole new level. And a whole new level of weird. And can I spoil the end? Do you want me to spoil it for you? Can I spoil it?
Don't spoil it because people might not in the chat either.
Right, just see, the thing is, I don't know if you're ever going to see it. That's the thing.
I will listen to it and I'll read a plot description.
Yeah, you won't
watch a bootleg.
You won't see.
Watch a bootleg.
You will not see the twist coming, and it's just like. Yeah. Holy shit. And you're sitting like, and the entire, it's a hilarious show. You're wetting yourself laughing. It's so cleverly done. They do broad characters. I love broad characters. You got these slack jawed yokels that really like to, I don't want that thing in my town. I tell you now, if that bat child comes anywhere near my children, I will make sure he never sees the light of day again, which actually he may lack. They have these whole broad characters, and they have like an amazing sort of traveling preacher that comes around and sings this whole gospel number, and it's insane. And then this twist comes, and everyone just goes, "Huh? What?"
Well, that's another thing. What is? I'm just going to riff off this very quickly.
No.
What is a show that you have like sat down and seen that literally you have just sat there and gone like, whoa? Don't do Batboy, because we've done Batboy. But what's like another show that you just sat there and gone like, wow.
Are we talking from story aspect or from
any aspect? So it can be story.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion.
Like that. What's that?
It's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to be hopefully talking to the guy who wrote the book for it very, very soon. He's from Canada. It's Lord of the Rings the musical.
Yeah.
Purely because you've been to Drury Lane Theatre.
Oh, of course I have.
They gutted that place out.
Yeah.
It was like trees and stuff coming into the audience and stuff as you walked into the theatre.
I love that kind of theatre.
There's pictures. I've got a book here, and I'll have to send you some pictures from the book. But there was fireflies all around the theatre as you walked in. You're like, how are they doing that? And then they had hobbits coming in, jumping on the chairs over people, catching them in nets. Then the start of the show is they all go up onto the stage, do this whole dance thing, release all the lights that they just caught, and they fly off.
Wow.
And then Frodo puts on the ring. And I keep in mind, I do close-up magic. I know how a lot of illusions work as well. It's another thing I used to do is for weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure out how they do this. It's an illusion called Pepper's Ghost, where they use mirrors and it's like reflections and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They do that at Disney all the time.
Yeah. No way they could have done it on that stage, how it was set out. There's just no way. Yeah. But Frodo goes like that, and he just fades away. Slowly just fades. And I'm just like, sorry about language, but how the fuck did they do that? Like, it's just one of these shows, and they had a stage on hydraulics that went up about 8 levels. And they had people on stilts that was like the size of a house, like these huge. They done like the ents, the trees, like people on stilts. They had people on like doing what's the ribbons, the acrobatics on the ribbons and stuff. They done all like that. Aerial dancing. Yeah. Gollum comes in. He's on a harness. You can't see the harness, and he's crawling down vertically down the proscenium arch. It was just insane what they managed to do with that show. And it's not surprising it didn't last, because they were bleeding money. It cost so much to do. I think it only ever played in Toronto and then came over to the Drury Lane Theatre. And I saw that show about 15 times.
Yeah.
I was working down the road. I was very, very lucky that I knew someone working on the production, and I got to go and see it. I just went for free. It was amazing. And it was just, I saw it about 15 times. I was there the night they had an accident on the stage with one of the guys playing. Aragorn, his leg got crushed in the stage. Oh, no. Yeah. But that was a minor hiccup and well worth it for the spectacle. but yeah, it was just one of those shows, and it was insane. I've actually got a book on the show. I might do a video and take you through it all.
Yeah.
There's some videos online on YouTube. I've done a song from it as well. And the music was beautiful, and the costumes were stunning, and just conceptually, it was an amazing show. The book, obviously, how do you cram? It was like 4 hours per film. And they had 4 films, and the book's massive, and they had to condense that into a 2.5 hour show. And they from doing that, they did a good job, I think. And I contacted the guy who wrote the book for it, and he contacted me back, and hopefully I'm gonna get some time to sit down and chat with him about it. But that show is one of those ones are just memorable from start to finish, aesthetically. Book wise, I always liked the original play, but Spring Awakening.
Oh, beautiful. Spring Awakening. Love Spring Awakening.
Duncan Sheik done another musical called Whisper House.
Yeah.
If you've not listened to it, listen to it. It's about a guy that goes to live with his grandmother, and the house is haunted, and he basically is guided by these ghosts, and it's incredible. It's very, very ethereal, very, very well put together. It's all set place in a lighthouse. It's very, very cleverly done. But that's, again, Whisper House. Look it up. It's very, very good.
Okay, I'll answer my own question now. Okay, I haven't seen this live, but I have been very sneaky and watched the bootleg. Don't. But Deaf West Spring Awakening is the most beautiful production you will ever see. Now, I'm a person who I shout from the rooftops to make theatre accessible. Like, that's the reason why I was a little bit iffy on like the Ratatouille musical, but the fact that that show was so accessible was beautiful, and that's why I was so annoyed that people ripped it and put it on YouTube the second it was like aired. It's like, why? It's like,
is it Bridgerton now?
You know, but
isn't Bridgerton one now as well?
It's what?
Is it Bridgerton? Something like that? It's on new on Netflix.
Yeah, that's like a new TikTok one. I haven't seen the show, so I probably won't do a video on that unless there's like public demand. But Death West Spring Awakening is, they basically take Spring Awakening. Have you seen anything about it?
No.
Okay. Death West Spring Awakening. They take Spring Awakening, but they cast deaf actors. And,
no! I have seen this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is just beautiful. Not everyone is like deaf. And the people who are deaf have like counterparts who sing, and the band will sing as well, and they all play instruments, and it's just such a beautifully crafted show. Every little intricate detail to make sure that different types of people can perform musical theatre is just amazing. From like, I had this whole massive phase where I was just watching every single little like behind the scenes thing I could about this show, because it was so interesting. It was I think it's the guy who directed Dear Evan Hansen. His name, Michael Arden, maybe that.
Yeah,
maybe Michael Arden. I might be wrong there, but he was talking about it and just saying how they were having to, they would do visual cues that are so subtle, like the person needs to start signing the thing when another actor taps, using the actors who can hear to help the deaf actors, and it just elevates the material because it's all about communication and just everything. This like gap in communication. How do you enhance that? You have a deaf cast. It didn't last very long on Broadway. It had a short run, but it was always had a short run because it went into the Brooks Atkinson just before Waitress, I think. But honestly, if there was one show that I could bring to London and just keep there forever, apart from Come From Away,
but they could
that's
do that
be there, is Death West Spring Awakening. It is beautiful, and I'm so upset that we haven't had more shows like Death West Spring Awakening.
Hang on, here you go.
I saw their Big River. Yeah, of Deaf West. Amazing cast. I'm an English boy. I'm a little like English boy. I can't see their productions live, but mind blowing. It's amazing, and it just shows how versatile theatre can be.
That's the thing, and also you had these revivals. Like the original production of Sweeney Todd was amazing. With the set, it was a Stephen Sondheim production on Broadway. It was a big set, big cast. Yeah. But the best production I ever saw was literally. Pardon? Was
it the one in the pie shop? They did Sweeney Todd in an actual pie shop.
No, that was good. But no, the one I liked was they did it on Broadway as well with Patti LuPone.
Yeah,
and the set was literally it's like rotten wood at the back, rotten wood on the floors, like floors underneath and behind was lit, so it was backlit, so the lights would change colors, and they put smoke through the gaps in the wood, and they basically just the only set was a ladder, that a few little props, and this barber's seat was put into a coffin, and that was it. And all the actors play their own instruments. So
I love that theatre. Amelie is another one that I saw and it blew my mind. UK version of Amelie is high tier, but yeah.
But again, like I saw $1 Million Quartet, and obviously all those actors have to act those parts, but also play all the instruments, and it's all live, and it makes things so amazingly diverse, and the fact that you're actually seeing like live bands doing it how they should be done. It's that's the thing I think we're missing at the moment with theatre, and You know,
Massive.
I mean, all I'm trying to do at the moment with my channel is literally do something a bit more positive, just something positive, something fun, and hopefully people enjoy it. And I know you're doing exactly the same thing. I think the one thing I keep saying to people is, if you have someone you watch again and again and again, and you're enjoying the majority of what they're doing, subscribe to them, share their stuff, because
Yes.
you could change how many people see their stuff, and it can actually make a massive difference to that person.
Honestly, the weirdest thing to me is seeing people advertise me. Like, I'll be on like Twitter or something, or like Facebook, and I'll just see, like, I think there was one for this in like a group I was in on Facebook, and it was just like, hey, you should check out this live that Aaron Sings Broadway and Dan Talk Theatre are doing. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
the fact that you enjoy my stuff enough to like share it to other people is just honestly
Well, you
warms my
sent me a
heart.
picture the other day, which made me laugh. Obviously, we're relatively small channels compared to some people, and we're on a top 100 musical theatre YouTube channels list.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Like, I was like, really? Okay, that's nice. But we're literally right underneath each other, which is really strange. Yeah, that was an odd little thing to see. And it's lovely when those things happen, like people commenting as well, commenting and likes and shares and stuff.
I'll have
love it.
a little group of people who I recognize their names, I recognize when they comment, and like if they don't comment, I'm like, oh my god, where's that person's comment? They normally comment about this, and like it's so lovely to see people like enjoying your stuff. And like, you might think that people don't see your comment, people don't like recognize your comment, but I know people's usernames now. I know people's like little icons. People will pop up, and I'll just like, hey, it's that guy.
I can't obviously physically answer every single comment, but I answer as many as I can. I always respond, and I want kind of like my channel to be somewhere people can come. Like, I always put like something in the community tab and stuff. You can request songs there. You
Honestly,
can enjoy things.
I don't care about numbers that much.
No.
The only reason I want to get to 1,000 because I want that community tab. That is the one thing. If I could change one thing about YouTube, I would make that community tab happen even quicker. I want that community tab. I want to keep in touch with the audience, because it's, I have to make a musical to do. I have to make a musical. I hope I don't have to make a musical. That takes 7 years. I have to make a video to like engage and talk to my audience. And I'm a type of person who I don't like messing up my feed. I like a nice tight knit feed, very clear. I won't do the same type of video twice. I have to do if I've got a Glee video and then I have another idea for a Glee video, I have to wait for a while because that messes up my feed.
I try and do the same thing with duets and stuff. I try not to put them too close together.
Yeah. So with this comment on screen right now, I think there are some channels that, there are massive channels on YouTube. People who I watch, like Jacksepticeye, Jack's Films, people like that. They do manage to like engage with their community, but I do appreciate it's very hard for them. And if I ever did get to that point where like I was, I physically cannot respond to every comment, I would feel quite bad. Do
you know what? I don't ever expect to get that big, but I think.
Oh, I don't know if 1,000.
Oh, you will, trust me. At the end of the day, if anyone ever comments, I always make sure the reason I have it so I have to check the comments in order to approve them isn't because I don't want negative comments. It's so I can see them all. So because I have to approve them, I then have to read them, and that's perfect.
It's also a good way to keep spam off your comments as well.
No, do you
very
know what?
handy.
Oh, don't. The main XXX girls come here. You're like, why are you doing that? I'm a musical theatre channel. This is not appropriate. But yeah, I like the whole thing I used to love, and the thing I miss about doing theatre. And do you know what? It's the reason I like doing gigs a little bit more than I like doing theatre sometimes. You have to interact and you have to talk to people, and you get to meet some amazing people. I done a show once, and I had a woman who was 102 years old, and I sat there with her for 15 minutes and just chatted away, and she was incredible. And like, It's you meet some amazing people, and it's the same on here. You know, like I say, I've met some incredible people, some amazingly talented people,
Yeah.
seen how kind people can be. Like I've had literally, apart from maybe 1 or 2 thumbs down sometimes on a video, all the comments, all the responses have been so lovely and so positive. It's just it's been very, very heartwarming to know that that's the side of the internet that I'm on.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of negativity, and to be honest with you, I don't really care. You know, I'd be doing this if no one was watching. I'd be doing this if one person was watching, because I do it for me. You know, and the fact that people like it is great. You know, and that's, I don't like what I do. I wouldn't listen to me. I'm not. I mean, that's not a raging. That's not a that's not that's not a raging.
Listen to me, and you should too, at www.youtube.com/DanTalksTheatre. Go subscribe.
Yeah, I've been to West End.
Yeah, there's so, like, I am a person, because I want to direct, and like I've spent so much time like analyzing every little thing about theatre. I love set design. Set design is something I could go on about for ages. Like I have a video where I did a set design tier list. That was one of my favorite videos, just because it was me just going, I love this set. This set is amazing. And there's like sets that don't get enough credit. Like I think Dear Evan Hansen has an amazing set. Like it's simple. It's just projection. But the way that it's done is so intricate, and you know, different shows work on different levels for what they need for set. And I just love theatre. I just love theatre.
That's why I like the Beetlejuice set.
Yeah,
it's literally just a house, and then the projections are what make it change, and it's so cleverly done.
The way they take off the walls and, you know, switch it up, and it's so good.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Do you know the music of Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812?
Yes.
Yeah, that set. Imagine sitting on that stage. That is incredible, that set.
It's one of the most fun things about doing shows is playing on sets.
Yeah.
Like, and you get this whole thing. I remember my first time on a set, the first show I done was Oliver. And I spent an hour just laying down on the stage and looking at the set and seeing how things moved. And it just like, someone had to work all this out.
Yeah.
You know, every scene, every way something moves, it all has to work to make it a smooth transition. And it's just incredible, beyond me.
Honestly, my one goal in life, I want to be on a West End stage. Once everything is safe again, once, you know, the world is better, please, I want to be on a West End stage. I don't care if it's a musical I hate. I just want to be on that stage.
So
like the feeling of being on a stage with like this massive set, seeing all the intricate little details backstage. I want to experience that so badly, you know.
So the before I'd done a show, I had I was walking around. I was working as an usher, and these 2 guys were doing a scavenger hunt they were in the army, and they were doing a scavenger hunt around London, and they had 2 tasks that they had to achieve, and I was like, I might be able to help here. Do you remember Little Shop of Horrors with Sheridan Smith?
I think that was a little bit probably before I was massively into music theatre, but I know Little Shop of Horrors.
So I went to go see it, and I knew someone who worked on the backstage, and they let them in to go on the stage. So I got to see like Audrey 2 and all those things, like that design, right? And Sheridan Smith come down, and she was so lovely. And I was like, that hit too. They had to meet a celebrity, and they had to go on a West End stage, and we hit it in 2. I was like, but she was really, really good, and she was really lovely as well.
Yeah. Oh, I just. This is the thing we're missing, isn't it? I just want theatre back. Like, it was great to go back in like December when all the things were like, it was like, you know, not as packed. Honestly, I would say I'm very happy to have spaces between people. It makes the views a lot better and stuff like that. But you know, there is nothing like a packed theatre. There is nothing like being in that audience and feeling the energy. And when we go back and we're in those theatres again, whether on stage or in the audience or backstage, whatever, I know that, you know, the community is going to go mad for it. You know, it's going to be amazing. 3 of my friends and I have decided to make a musical. It's nothing big. There's been about a quarter of the script completed and 1 song composer. I'm the composer. That's exciting. Yeah, like that's the way to keep things going at the moment. Whether, you know, you're just watching things, you're writing things, you're, you know, doing what we do and singing and just being an idiot in front of a camera and slightly relating it to theatre, you know, whatever you can do to, you know, keep yourself happy and engage yourself in theatre at the moment is great. You know, I made an Instagram post today because that's another thing I really want to do this year is try and get back on Instagram a little bit more and try and, you know, get some clout as and I just made this post and I was just like, you know, I miss this. I keep going to try and post things on Instagram, but the things I want to post to theatres, I want to post myself in the theatre cafe. I want to, you know, feel the energy in there, eat a slice of cake and drink a hot chocolate. I want to take a photo of the marquee, show it off, show off all the bright lights, the things that don't come across properly on camera as you're standing there. I want to be in that theatre, sitting there, just waiting for the show to start, feeling the energy as the curtain rises up. I just, you know, these feelings that we haven't felt for ages, and, you know, rightfully so, we're not doing very well numbers wise as a country, seeing as we have the worst death rate in the entirety of the world. So it's an understandable sacrifice, but I miss it. I really do.
I think we all do. But I think on that note, I have to go and put a child to bed, and you have to go and do some editing. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, my friend.
It's been fun.
We'll do it again next time. We'll do it on your channel.
Yeah, and try and do that. I'll set something up. Find some time.
We'll try and do a collaboration video and get it sorted, but it's a bit different.
We'll do something bigger, but collabs take ages. That's why this is like a nice little compromise, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it's nice. I like things being natural. I don't like scriptedness. I think a chat is nice. People get to know you, you know, and they should get to know you because you're a lovely guy. And hopefully, you know, this year people will help us out, share the channels, subscribe, and also not just us either, just other people you want to watch and support. Subscribing's free for people.
Yeah,
putting a little thumbs up is free, sharing is free, but it makes a massive difference.
Make 20 accounts and subscribe to us on all of them.
I mean, no, don't do that. That damages a channel. Did you not know that?
Does it? Oh, Jesus, all right.
Oh, you need to get rid of all those channels you got. Damn it, there's 80 emails.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, no,
that was... No, I'll make 20 accounts and then every day I'll go through and watch some of my videos. That's what I'll do. That won't damage my channel. Woo!
Oh, hang on, before we go, let he get it.
Yeah. March 13th was the last show I saw. No, before first lockdown. That was the one I saw. March 13th. Then the last show I saw before this lockdown was, I think it was also the 13th. It's like Saturday. It's literally Saturday, and then like 2 days later they closed the West End again.
I was on stage, so for all 3 lockdowns, I was on stage and came off stage and went, yeah, we won't be here tomorrow. I'm like, oh, if I'd have known that, I would have, like, you know,
I would have upped my game a little bit.
I would have tried harder. But no, it's it's one of these weird things. I remember the first time this year I had a bunch of stuff booked in. Like, it was going to be a really good year, and you're like, oh, that's not happening. Better get on YouTube. But no, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
It's been amazing, yeah.
I will speak to you a little bit later on, and we can try and organise the next one. And hopefully, everyone who's been watching us, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for spending, like, if you've been here for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, the entire 1 hour 24, we really do appreciate it. It's been really fun talking to all of you guys and talking to you, Aaron.
I appreciate it.
And go subscribe to us both.
Well, do you know what? I just.
And then go follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, pledge to my Patreon.
I remember, so I genuinely appreciate every single person that spends 1 second of time watching a video.
Even if somebody watches it and absolutely hates it, then that's great.
No, mate, I just appreciate people spending this time. I really do.
Thomas, don't worry, Thomas, because what's great about a YouTube live stream is that once we end, you can go back and watch it all. And then go subscribe to Dan Talks Theatre.
You're not missing much. I appreciate it. My friend, absolute pleasure. Have a great rest of your night, mate. Thank you guys for watching us. I will speak to you all later. If you haven't watched it already, go back. Range 7 Studios and I done a duet today. Do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, just my channel. Yeah, did a video the other day where I dramatically read Hamilton fan fiction. Or I've got some reviews. I have weird projects. I do a range of things. If you enjoy theatre, you enjoy what I do. So head over, subscribe, all that jazz.
Bunch of videos to catch up on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of your night. Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I love you.